I hope you guys like these videos because some of these videos are really hard. What is a command line argument in Bash? A command line argument is information that is passed to a program that can change the output and or behavior of a program in some way. A command line argument is a piece of information passed to a program when it's run from the command line. It can influence the program's behavior or output. What really is a command line argument in Bash? A command line argument is extra information that you give a program that can change the output or behavior of a program in some way. A command line argument is any arbitrary data that a program can choose to interpret in order to manipulate the behavior of the program and its output. What is the purpose of a command line argument? To provide information to the program that may or may not change the behavior or output of that program. The purpose of command line arguments is passing information to a program at the start of its execution. What happens when you give a program an argument? It may or may not change the behavior or output of that program. The argument is added to the array of arguments for the program to be passed when its process is spawned. It's up to the program to do something with that information. So what does all that mean? What does all that gobbledygook mean? This right here. Echo F. Boom. F. Echo FRINEND. Okay? Right? Echo is the command. Whatever I type in afterwards is the argument. Right? It is extra information that changes the output, right? If this is the output of the program and echo is the program and this is the output, then what I put into the program is the argument, if that makes any sense. Okay? It's information that may or may not change how a program operates. Now, you got to understand something about command line arguments. Not all programs need command line arguments. Some do, some don't. Some are indifferent. But a command line argument may, it's not for certain, but it may change the output of a program. Okay. How does a command line argument work? A command line argument works by providing information to a program that can change the program output or behavior. Each program handles arguments differently to achieve the tasks that they are made for. Does an argument always change the output of a program? No, an argument does not always change the output or behavior of a program. Does a command line argument need a program to function? Yes, a command line argument can only work if there is a program inside the command you are running. You can't have a command line argument without a program in the command. Are there some commands that require arguments? Yes, there are some commands that will not run without arguments. An example would be the mv command used to move or rename files from the shell. It expects two arguments to function: what to move and where to move it to. Do all commands need arguments? No, not all bash commands need arguments, and not all programs need arguments. What would be a program that doesn't need an argument? An example of a program that doesn't need any arguments to work would be ls, which doesn't need any arguments to function, right? So, but can also accept arguments, right? ls, right? ls, okay? ls.l, okay? Boom, right? So the /l, ls is the program, right? ls is the command. ls space minus l is the argument. It's the extra information that changes the output or may not change the output of the program in some way, of the command in some way. How does bash read the command line argument? Or does bash read the command line argument? No, bash does not read the command line argument. The program bash reads, executes the program, and the program reads the argument. Okay? So I know that's going to sound a little weird, but basically bash executes ls. It's ls that reads the dash l. Okay? What is the role of bash in the context of arguments? Bash's only job is to take what you type, recognize the program from the arguments, and give that list of arguments to the program so it can execute it. Does a program always process a command line argument? No, and each program processes the information of the command line argument differently. Some do process the information, some don't. Why is an argument called an argument and not, say, an option or a specification? The term argument is well established in computer programming and comes from mathematical arguments to a function. Why do they use that term in mathematics? The answer is which is Latin. The Latin word argumentium means evidence or proof. The use of the term argument in mathematical sense developed from astronomy, which historically used tables to determine the spatial positions of planets from their positions in the sky. These tables are organized according to measured angles called argument, literally just that which elucidates something else. It's also used in mathematics as argument of a function. So there you go. That is a brief overview, a brief and confusing overview of what a command line argument is.